Hey guys, it's Will Rich. Hopefully you're having a great Christmas today. Quantum computing is changing the world. And if something's changing the world, it probably means they're doing something that is not being done by a lot of other people, right? It's probably something that's super impactful, right? You would think. So quantum computers is something we talked about for a long time and just starting to really become a reality here in 2025. Just for a limited time for you or a loved one, you can get $100 off StockMate. That second link in the description. Let's take a look at this company that had some concerns about their quantum computing revenue, about their financials, but why that might change. And also had some concerns on the chart here that they might sell back down. I mean, if you look at it, you could look at the chart from here to here on that kind of consistent uptrend. And you might be led to believe, oh, it makes sense that it's going to go from 11.25 is probably going to drop down here to 7.59, and that would be quite a drop. Don't want to be on the wrong side of that drop, and that's pretty understandable, and I could see that happen. But the reason why it most likely won't happen is because this drop right here, where the stock went from $10 to what was $6.50 before recovering back to $11.30 it's at now. That $5 drop was due to Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve. And it wasn't just this, but I don't know if you guys remember, this is about 5 days ago. Almost all the stocks, all the cryptos, everything dropped significantly all at once. I mean, we had a very, I don't know that it was the biggest drop of 2024, I believe. But I don't know if it was the biggest drop ever, but it was a huge drop across the markets. And you can see that because of that, it's not actually going to, that drop that happened is probably not going to repeat itself, as that drop happened because of the announcements he made that he was only going to be cutting interest rates maybe 2 more times throughout the year. And so people were getting, the markets were saying, oh, that's not too good. I don't know if we want to buy now. And a lot of investors sold. But the job reports came out and they were better quarter over quarter. And there were some other things that impacted that restored some investor confidence. And so when we look at the investor confidence rise, you see the markets rise. I think Tesla was up 5% today. If we look at what the S&P was up, definitely 1% today. Let me just double check what the S&P was up. S&P was up, 1.09%. Tesla's up 8%. Google's up. Everything was really up, and it has been for this entire week because of some restored confidence. And usually day after Christmas or around Christmas, stocks tend to go up. So that's something to consider. Doesn't always happen that way, but they tend to. Now, this quantum AI Rigetti looks like it could sell down on the chart. That's what we're saying. But when you look at the chart and you don't maybe account for that Jerome Powell announcement and you trend out the rest of the stock and you look at it from this perspective, look, this is a rising support. It's rising up consistent. And look at that, support. And it's actually, with the exception of this Jerome Powell announcement, it's keeping this uptrend. And not only is it keeping the uptrend, it almost appears that this level here is going to be going like this, that we could see it retest a little bit if it wasn't retesting right here already before continuing up to what could be $15 or $20 a share. And so Rigetti stock actually on the chart, if we look at it that way, it looks more bullish than some might seem. They might see this drop and they say, oh, that trend is probably going to drop. But when you account for some of the artificial movements in the market that happen because of the Fed, now it's looking more bullish. Now it's looking like, hey, this could potentially push up to $15, which would be 20 to 40% increase if it gets to that range. And so let's take a look at, so outside of the chart, it looks pretty good. Like I said, it could retest a little bit, but that actually makes it more bullish than it may appear on the surface. So I just wanted to bring that to your guys' attention. Rigetti stock has some potential to grow more. And just to look on the 1 day real quick, today we pushed up to 12.30, $12.30 after opening the market today at about 11:30. So we pushed up 11% at one point today, ended the day out at an early market close here on Christmas Eve, going into Christmas, about just up 2.75%. So let's take a look. It seems like the technicals are pointing to more growth. It's holding above that moving average. Let's take a look at the news for Rigetti. There was something that you guys might not know about Rigetti, and it's one of the things that really is the catalyst for any quantum computing company. Uh, a lot of these companies, they're working on their quantum computer, they're grinding to put together some of the most amazing technology in the world. But on top of that, then they have to go out and they have to find a place where they can actually put it to work. And not only put it to work, but use it in a way that will grow their company and not just make them money, but use it in a way that it's going to be put to the best work. It's going to be put to work in a way that it's going to really utilize the full potential of the technology, because at that point the company has the ability to advance. They're going to be pushing the limits and things like that. And so that's what you want to see. And a lot of quantum computing companies struggle because now they have to find partnerships. They have to find companies willing to plug it into their business model. Guess what? We've seen that Microsoft and Amazon have partnered with Rigetti to make that happen. And this is kind of sleeper news. I don't think anybody was really anticipating this or saw this coming, maybe. I know some of you guys that have been following Rigetti for a very long time have seen that move play out, and you already knew that was going to happen. But look, this is straight from Microsoft.com. Rigetti provider, Azure. So Azure is their large language model it's kind of like their ChatGPT, right? And you can see this is Rigetti's Anka 9Q3 quantum processor, and they're using it with Azure in cloud computing for developers and people to utilize the speed and the processing of this quantum computer through the cloud. And it says that Rigetti is a provider. You can see IonQ as well, which we'll have to cover that stock as well. I have that one on my list here. Do we have it? Yeah, right there. Quantum computing. It's up 7% today. So it's not just this company that's partnering with some of the big tech. There's a lot of other quantum computer companies that are starting to come up. So you got to look out. On top of that, let's take a look at their Amazon one. So that's Microsoft. You can see how they're kind of integrating gate model machines based on a tunable superconducting qubits. Wow, that's amazing. And then also you got Microsoft, or outside of Microsoft, you got Amazon. So let's just take a look at what that looks like. Yeah, so again, directly on Amazon.com, we go into AWS, which is where Amazon processes a lot of data. And you could look at companies like Netflix, or you could look at a company like Robinhood. They run their whole company on AWS using the back end of the data storage. You might have seen an S3 bucket when you claim a PDF or something like that from a company. That's all on AWS, and they process a massive amount of Amazon processes a massive amount of data for a lot of companies. And so if you look at Rigetti, you can see you got the supercomputer here on AWS. Rigetti superconducting quantum processors. They're calling them QPUs. So it's like quantum processor units. And this is really what could be a replacement, or we don't know, but potentially could change. We could shift from GPUs to QPUs in the big tech space if they prove to be, which they're already proving to process even faster and more efficiently. So you could look on Rigetti. You could see it right here on Amazon and AWS. It says providing AWS customers access to Rigetti QPUs is an important part of accelerating the commercialization of quantum computing. So they're pretty bullish. Obviously, they're partnered with them. So that's a big deal as well. So there's a lot more going on with Rigetti news, but that's kind of some of the key factors that we've seen play a role. And I think we already went over this, yes, but we just covered this in our last video, was the financials and how Rigetti looked financially. But one thing to consider is they're down on their EPS in the last quarter. They missed by 27%. The revenue's down. June revenue is down. March revenue is down. They really missed every quarter this year by a range of about 15%. So their financials were down. Their net income's negative 14 million. So they're negative. But year over year, you see their net income increased 33%. Year over year, their net profit increased 12%. I guess at this point, it's saying, hey, we're buying what could be. And if there's anything, this Berkeley-based company, with some of the partnerships that we're seeing them establish, this is a company that's, you're not just buying what could be, you're buying already implementation, and next quarter most likely could reflect better numbers for them than what might be expected. So we'll see what happens with Rigetti. And definitely, like anyone that's holding longer than 2 weeks or a couple days, it's not a bad entry. Anyone that's, saying I want to trade this day over day, it potentially will pull back, and you just gotta, take it more caution, more risk if you're going short term. I have been trading it. I traded it successfully earlier this week. And we bought, let me look at my shares. We bought at 1067, so right at market dip, 1067, and we sold at $11 right here. And then I ended up getting into, we got into Applied Digital, which did really well. We sold today after being up 10%. See, it says 40 cents. And then we also got into Rocket Lab and some other companies, and we're up 9% today. We've been averaging about 7% a day this week. Crazy week. So it's awesome. Really excited for this. So I'll keep you guys updated on Rigetti. There's a lot coming. Do hit the like button. Do consider subscribing. If I earned your thumbs up, definitely smash that so I know you guys like these videos. And if you want to watch me trade live at Market Open on Thursday, check out that second link down below. Just for a limited time, for you or a loved one, you can get $100 off StockMate in that second link in the description. Surround yourself with other traders and investors. That's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.